Midnight after dark. Midnight after dawn.
No. And there goes 20 viewers.
Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day.
They did a poll and they found out that people hate the kazoo more than any other instrument on the face of the earth.
Yeah, the harmonica like beat it by a mile. Like
By
so
a
much more
mile.
preferred.
Much more preferred.
Did someone order a sexy Persian wingman?
Yes.
Yep, that's right.
Sounds like
Okay,
a broken
everybody.
mic. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? We're going to talk a little bit about Looney Tunes and some other stuff. Isn't that right, Rob?
That's right. Looney Tunes, other stuff. Looney Tunes beats Game of Thrones. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Freaking, what's her face? She wants to be in the Vagina Hive Mind movie. The chick from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's right. I call her a chick. What do you?
Chloe Bennett.
Yeah, she wants to be in the all-female Avengers, or as we call it around here, yeah, the TNA Force.
TNA Force, titties.
And we got a whole lot more. Joining us, as always, is our good friend, Mr. Tom Connors.
Hi, how you doing?
Also joining us is the whitest man in show business from the Great White North, the Script Doctor.
Hello, eh?
He's a Canadian doctor, eh?
Oh yeah.
Hey.
That means he's better than
and-
American doctors.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a free ride to the waiting room there.
Ooh, Louie. And joining us, who's our special? Why don't you introduce our special guest, Tom?
Jason from Sci-Fi for Me TV. I've done a podcast with you guys before, but
Hello.
finally we're having you over here. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And as always, joining us, your favorite YouTube harpy. She's an Emmy. She's an Emmy, a Tony, a Bammy, a BAFTA, an Earl, an OBE, which makes her an earlobe. 42 in your program, number one in your heart, is Mega Random.
Hello. I get to bring out the writing crop.
That's right.
Do I need order? Do I need to restore order?
Maybe.
So, please, Jorge Burgos.
Ching.
We actually have a couple super chats. One before that too. Hang on. First one is this one here. What's for Matt G?
Matt G, congrats on Mahler Kugel Chicken reaching 300 and 400K subs. Wow, that's a milestone. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Mahler does those freaking like mega streams, like EFAP, every frame of pause. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I love what he does. There's no way I'm watching that. I'm sorry. He goes on like 6-7 hours.
I check in and out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't watch anything from
But yeah, so let's get through these super chats. Next one we got is from Planar Aspect.
Find out Planar Aspect. You guys are part of what's keeping me sane during this tumultuous time. Love what you guys are doing.
Shit, if
Keep
you're
being
looking to
honest
us for
about-
sanity, you're in trouble. Sorry, Rob, continue.
Smoke weed every day.
So,
Hell yeah.
so anyway,
You said
Well, that's-
love what you guys are doing, keep being
Okay.
honest, and yeah.
without giving into mob rule.
And I think that'll go perfectly into this next super
Where's
chat.
my Godfather theme?
mob. The mob there's a lot of benefits being in the mob. We got a good dental plan, don't you know that?
Could somebody go to McDonald's for me? Pick me up a couple Big Macs.
Maybe a couple Big Macs.
Grab the cannoli.
And a cannoli.
Pay attention. You never know when you got to cook for 40 men.
That's right. Jorge Burgos sends us $3 super chat. Please talk about Robert Meyer. He did nothing wrong. Yeah, we stand with Robert Meyer Burnett. I find it ironic and hypocritical that all the people that are going after him are upset with him for him being upset with the senseless murder of a black man. Since isn't that what this whole fucking thing's about in the first place?
Yeah, he was a cop. His nickname was the Cap because he was a guy that was like the captain, and he was a really prominent member of his community and loved talking with people and steering people on the right path when they looked like they might get into trouble. He was a good man. He did not deserve to die the way he did.
And another good man is Robert Meyer Burnett, and the person who doesn't deserve to be called a racist and a bigot and to be treated the way he has been by people on Twitter and other places. And I'm sure he's gotten all kinds of lovely fucking DMs from all kinds of wonderful people who have such beautiful tact and can't even see their own hypocrisy because, you know, their own white guilt is just overwhelming them. So good for you folks. And you know what? I got to ask Christian Harloff, how was Galaxy's Edge? Oh, never mind. And what was it like when you got canceled from fucking Collider? Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I mean, I
understand.
Well, it's going to get him back into the good graces and get him that little freebie by throwing somebody else.
Ask Boulder Roller how that fucking worked. Anyway, Mexican Iron Man sends us $20, Rob. Make me smile. Ole!
Ole! Mexican Iron Man, $20. I agree with Jorge about RMB. And on another note, Kim Midnight's Edge just acquired Looney Tunes for us forever. I'll sell tamales as a fundraiser. Love you guys and gal, Mecca. And your guests are always the best. Thank you very much.
Well,
Mexican.
Thank you. We try to get a lot of great guests on here, and we will talk a little Looney Tunes. But
I could spoil the track record on the guests though right now. I mean that's
well, don't go doing something silly. No, but Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself and your network you got going on and what you're up to over there. I shared your address in the chat, and I'm going to do it again right now.
I appreciate
that. If you want to check
Yep.
you guys out, tell us real quick what you guys do.
Well, Sci-Fi for Me has been around since 2009. We're a multi-channel platform. We cover science fiction, fantasy, horror, and we do it without political ideology. We do it without cancel culture. We do it without gatekeeping. Anybody, my criteria for anybody who wants to be part of our audience is you got to be body temperature and breathing. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what color your hair is. And we do our best to keep our news coverage material very, as objective and as accurate as we can. And our commentary stuff and our opinion pieces are separate from the news. And we've got a good mix of ideologies here. We've got conservatives, liberals, libertarians, so we're pretty much all over the map with our coverage.
Yep. Great. Sounds a lot like what we do. Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
You got cheerleaders.
You're not going to go over there and work, Rob.
Oh, damn.
I don't care if they got cheerleaders and sandwiches.
Oh, damn.
And if you keep that up, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but we do have some fairly attractive hosts for our Star Trek and our Star Wars news shows. So.
Rob, don't even think about it.
You're fired.
Think about what?
You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
That's right.
Oh my.
Eskimo Photo sends $4.99. So yeah, check out Jason on Sci-Fi for Me TV. It's www.scififorme.tv, right?
Right.
Yep.
And that .tv URL right now will lead to the Indiegogo campaign that just launched on Monday.
All right, so check that out. And if you want to help those guys out, that's the way to do it, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's move on with these super chats. Speaking of helping out, Eskimono Phono, if I could talk today, since $4.99. Hail Robert Meyer Burnett. It's because people think looters shouldn't be held accountable breaking in and stealing and hurting people. Well, I think you just said it right there. They're looters. Looters are looters. There's peaceful protesters and there's looters. There's a big differentiation. Just like there's a difference between
activists. Some Black Lives Matter, some don't.
Well, yeah. like you were just saying, Mecca, that's a very true sentiment. I feel like, and they're not going to admit it.
No, they don't. They don't care. They just care about being angry. They don't remember what they're protesting, who they're protesting for. No apology will bring back a man who was murdered in the street. Nobody can deny a man was murdered in the street by police in broad daylight while a bunch of assholes filmed it.
And neither
now
is
a
their
bunch of
outrage,
assholes out there protesting what? What are they protesting
Exactly.
anymore?
Neither is the outrage.
Well, now, have you seen some of the conspiracy theories that that George Floyd isn't actually dead?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No, I just keep seeing the ones.
Well-
I just keep seeing the videos of the right side blaming the left side for the bricks, and the left side blaming the right side for the bricks, depending on which source. Because I follow a little on both sides, because and it just seems to me like a giant game of chess that the media is playing, so they can know which checkbox to market people to. This just feels like market research. It doesn't feel like anything.
Yeah.
The companies are disingenuous. And like I said, no apology that anybody gives will be good enough or bring back anybody who is dead. And I am done giving a fuck about this now that they've started strangling dogs and burning horse stables with horses in them alive. So fuck the riots, fuck the protests, go home.
I hadn't
Your
heard
lives
about
don't matter anymore to me.
I seen the
Fuck you
dog
all.
thing, but I didn't hear about the horse stable thing.
Yeah,
But
fuck
still,
you all. Your lives no longer matter to me.
Well,
You
did
want
see
no
the-
police? Then you go. Fuck off, people.
Did you see the video, the TikTok video of somebody who was basically saying that Black Lives Matter and Animal Lives Matter were pretty much the same kind of thing?
Well, that's some idiot vegan.
For
Yeah.
Pete's sake.
I mean, no, I'm talking about when they actually torture things.
Yeah, I know. They're just trying
when
to
people
adopt.
start dying to justify a murder, that's when this needed to be shut down immediately. And you know what? I support people's right to protest, but I do not support the hypocrisy in people coming out and yelling at people protesting over wanting things open up so they can go back to work. But now all of a sudden you're guilted when you do not want to protest because there's still other shit going on in the world where we have to social distance and wear masks. So what's this going to do with that? Are people that fucking stupid that I think they just want a reason to get together and fucking smash shit? That's all it seems like to me.
Yeah, and I want to bring this down.
You gotta be careful, they might cancel me. Fucking cancel me.
No. It's not that. It's just I don't want to get into all that stuff, and I know that's not what Jason really covers over there. It's not what we really cover. We got lots of stuff to talk about, but it is important, and we do support and stand with Robert Meyer Burnett 110%. So if anybody's curious as to where we stand on that, that's where we stand. Eskimo Phono. Go ahead, Rob.
R&B had a nice turnout for his live stream. So
I noticed. So I mean, it's not. So I guess he must not be that canceled. Eskimo Phono sent us $1.99. Tom, I enjoyed your Walker impression. Oh, you when I was doing the Star Wars lines? Yeah. So we've got a big leak here. We'll find. How are you? It was a boring conversation anyway.
Well, there was what was it? Weren't you doing Nick Nolte as Han Solo at one point?
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was pretty good.
We got a big leak here. So you're looking for passage to the Alderaan system.
What about Gary Busey?
Oh God.
Wouldn't it just be, hey, I'm Gary Busey?
I see
I was going to go to the Tashi station
you're-
pick some power converter.
I see you're bringing a kid with you. Gotta ask, is there any funny business going on before I let you come on my ship? I don't know about that. I gotta tell you a story, though, about the time I ate a raccoon raw.
Was that an outtake from Black Sheep?
No, I just made it up.
Till Zeppelin fell on his head in the Ardennes forest.
I was hungry. God sent me some food, and it was in the form of a raccoon that tried to eat my foot off.
If Gary Busey was in Space Force instead of Steve Carell, that show would have probably been amazing.
Gary Busey is a fucking nut job.
He's a national.
Yes, he is.
Like basically all the shit you see on him in TV doing crazy shit, that's like him in real life, I've heard. Like he's not acting.
All right. All right. Let's.
I think some people would probably pay good money to see Gary Busey and Charlie Sheen in a reality show together.
Probably. All right. Let's get on to our first topic here. What's this, Tom, about Looney Tunes is more popular than Game of Thrones?
Yeah. I guess in the first week of its launch, or just under the first week of its launch, Looney Tunes is already more popular on HBO Max.
Why wouldn't it be?
than Game of Thrones. I just thought it was funny.
Is it because people like were so pissed at the last season,
That's
and
the
now
best
everybody's
picture
looking at
for it.
Looney Tunes to see? Oh, they got all the band cartoons. Let's go watch them.
Probably.
Oh, Brunhilde, you're so lovely. Yes, I know it. I can help it.
Just don't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh,
It
Brunhilde.
stinks.
I love it. It's the best. I love Looney Tunes. It's the best. Bugs Bunny's the, oh god. It's greatest
Ain't I a
creator.
stinker.
One of the funniest cartoons was when Bugs Bunny and the Gremlin there. I can't remember what was it? I can't remember what the
Oh, I
title
love that
was.
one. Oh, what the hell is it called?
Hey, I
Wasn't
don't
that
know.
a
Something
couldn't it have been a gremlin?
It ain't well, But there's that one point where he's in the window and then it's spinning. Then all of a sudden he starts going, yeah, oh, yeah.
That has always been one of my favorite Looney Tunes. Yeah. Did you know that Joe Dante wanted to put that in front of Gremlins when they put it in theaters, but Warner Brothers wouldn't let him? Yeah, he wanted to have that in the beginning of the movie, like a cartoon deal.
That would have been fun.
Would have been better yet is like at the very end of the cartoon, if it like went crazy and wacky and all of a sudden you just heard in the background or whatever, and then the movie started. But anyway, Willie Woodward sent $5. Hey, Tom and his hetero life mate, or hetero power bottom. Also, hi, Mecca and Script Doctor and the other guy. Well, the other guy, that's Jason from Sci-Fi For Me TV. So we want to welcome him here to our channel tonight. I've been on his podcast once, and I'm sure I'll try and get over there again. You're doing all kinds of, are you doing like marathon casting, or what do you guys got going on over there?
Well, we've been doing some different live streams this week just as part of the whole Indiegogo launch, but we've got nine regular programs that we do on every week, every other week, and most of them are news-based. We do have some discussions. We've got Deep Space Mines, which is a Star Trek discussion thread, and I think that's the one you were on. And then we've got the Rancor Pit, which is the Star Wars Roundtable, and then a few others. But yeah, we just launched a new one. We just did one today called the Daily Dose of Dog, with a half hour of video of my dog sleeping in the office with nice piano music in the background.
I saw that for a few seconds. Like, oh, cute. Culture Casino sent us a super sticker. I can't see what it is. I don't know if anybody else has got their
unicorn.
It's a doomicorn. All right. And we got Raging Rhino says, "Hail Tom in chat. You are awesome." Raging Rhino is another individual I hope to get on the show here real soon again. But anyway, you were about to say something, Jason. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was done.
Mary says she would enjoy the Deep Space Mine one a lot. Well, there you go. Check out the podcast. I had a lot of fun when I was over there, and you guys seem very knowledgeable about all this stuff. Who else is on the crew with you?
On that one, well, Meg Trask is the host for Tribble Bites, which is the news program, and she and I are pretty much the anchors on Deep Space Mines. We try to have guests in for that one. We haven't had as many as I'd like. But then we've got Tom Kane was just on Rancor Pit here a couple of weeks ago talking about the end of Clone Wars. So he's a friend. He's a good guy.
All right. Well, cool. Everybody check that out and help them out if you can. So, Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Looney Tunes being more popular?
HBO's newly launched streaming network has a surprise hit on its hands, surpassing even the monstrous popularity of Game of Thrones. Really, you how old are you?
The what?
I mean, are you really surprised that Looney Tunes is more popular than Game of Thrones?
Evidently, Screen Rant is.
Looney Tunes is more popular on HBO Max than Game of Thrones, with many subscription streaming services currently doing better than usual as a result of the great toilet paper shortage. Now appears to be the time for new shows to launch. Of course, this is easier said than done due to the fact that so many productions were halted when lockdowns came into place over the course of the past several months. Some programs had the good fortune to already have been shot and edited before the world came to a somewhat unprecedented halt, allowing them to be aired as usual. What's more, some streaming services have also been able to officially launch during this time, giving the lockdown customer base an opportunity to try out something new. One such service is AT&T Incorporated's much anticipated HBO Max. For many, an HBO streaming service was just the sort of thing they've been waiting for. With its long-standing reputation for highly watchable programming, HBO has taken programs like Deadwood, Sex and the City, Girls, pardon me.
You're supposed to mute Rob. I like Sex and the City.
At least he's not farting on Mike.
No kidding. Well, since you had to do that, we got $2 from Goddess of Whim 2003. Says Fallen Hair with Gremlin. You're welcome. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And yes, that is one of my favorite Looney Tunes. So anyway, continue now that you've disgusted our audience, Rob. But we did gain a few viewers, so maybe keep doing it.
See, there's people like gas. See,
according to Plan R Aspect, you're supposed to project. Well, Az always makes sure he says like boobs or something like that when he does it. So
I just go burp. So you want to say burp? For many, an HBO streaming service was just sort of thing they've been waiting for, with its long-standing reputation for Hollywood program, blah blah blah. And Game of Thrones to stratospheric heights while maintaining devoted viewership. Now, with the launch of HBO Max, however, the biggest surprise so far has been which one of the network's programming choices is the most popular. The network's demographic has long been an adult one, but according to a new report from Bloomberg, in the short time that HBO Max has been up and running, the service's most popular program.
What kind of Mickey Mouse operation is that?
What a maroon.
What a maroon.
Anyways, there's been the reboot of Warner Brothers Animation's iconic Looney Tunes cartoon. As a matter of fact, the new series has been so popular with subscribers that it's managed to become the service's most in-demand program. This is no small feat, considering that a program as massive Game of Thrones, which is now available in service, took a backseat to Bugs Bunny and company. Overture, curtains, lights.
It's nice the nights.
Game
no more rehearsing or nursing apart.
We know every part by heart.
Hey, but everybody likes all the boobs.
The statistics on this one were compiled by our old friends at Parrot Analytics.
Well, then, that's sad when they got
a research-based firm responsible for determining the popularity of programs based on social media, fan ratings, and matey piracy. Looney Tunes fans have also made it the second most popular series for the first 4 days of its debut, just behind Disney's The Mandalorian, or as Mecca calls it, the Baby Yoda Show.
Wow, really? They're claiming that too on top of it? Now, again, folks, take this shit with a grain of salt. Parrot Analytics is what, Rob?
Parrot Analytics measures hashtags. Really, that's all it is. They measure internet traffic. So even if you say, let's just say for example, Star Trek Discovery sucks, they count that as what they call a demand expression.
But you know what? This does mean something to me, though, because I'll tell you, most people misspell Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that's right. They think the tunes is Toons.
Yeah, and Looney is Luney for some reason.
Why did I misspell them? I know it was Looney Tunes Merry Melodies.
Exactly. See, you get it. That's why most people
don't realize. And then there's Tiny Toons, which has the actual tune in it.
For the cartoon, yes.
For the cartoon, because it was different, and yeah.
Well, anyway, clearly this is a massive win for HBO Max, as its previous status of appealing mainly to an adult demographic was seen by some as a potential hurdle to surpass, particularly when services like Disney and Netflix have such a variety of programming. What's more, the program's success is a firm indication of how beloved Looney Tunes is. and how its power continues to thrive while creating a modern day fan base. You know why? Because it's timeless, dipshits.
And they're not woke as shit. Look at this. You got Bugs Bunny who fucking is constantly dressing in drag. And for one reason only.
To fool Elmer Fudd.
To make him look like a fool. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Dramatic irony at its best.
It's still early days for Looney Tunes at present, meaning that there's a possibility that the 4-day popularity of the series won't necessarily be maintained. Oh, it'll be maintained.
Oh, fuck yeah, especially if they put more on.
Fuck, what? Oh, God. Many people who were familiar with the classic Looney Tunes animation may have tuned in to simply see if it measures up. Nonetheless, the success of the series isn't all that surprising, considering how much time and thought Warner Brothers Animation has put into it. The series harkens back to the roots of the classic animation program, that same magic has surely helped make it irresistible to an entire new generation of fans.
And I've even heard the newer ones aren't that bad. I haven't watched any yet, but I've seen a few reviews, and most of them say the brand new animated stuff is pretty good. So
my biggest question is going to be if they can maintain the voices, because
that's been my only part that I've seen that's kind of
there's no replacement for Mel Blanc.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's if they maintain the same level of quality for the writing with the multiple layers of jokes, then they should do okay in the long run.
My problem so far is that the voices, and I got to get past how HD clean and computerized the animation looks in a sense. I mean, they do a good job emulating the 24 frame a second look, but it still has that very sanitized
it's kind of
look to
sanitized
it.
and a little lifeless. Yeah.
Little too clean. It's a little too clean.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes. Because, I mean, I love the charm of the classic 24-frame film, and they look gorgeous, guys. I have the Blu-rays, and they look great on Blu-rays, too. But, I mean, if you don't have the Blu-ray set and you don't want to spend I don't know what it goes for anymore, 40, 50, 60 bucks, it's on I think all the same episodes that are out there now are the same ones that are on that set. They still have quite a few they have to yet get out there, folks. There's like over 1,000 some Looney Tunes shorts. So there's tons of them. And they've only mastered, I think, like 300 or 400 of them at this point, something like that. So they got a ways to go.
Yeah, I think I've got, of all these collections through DVD and VHS, I think I have about 400 episodes.
Yeah, I know they've only roughly not even half of what they. Yeah, it's they got a ton more to go. Nikki D sent $5. If Script Doctor was approached by Lucasfilm to fix Traws, would he be willing to? And if so, what changes would he have made? Wow, that's almost a video in and of itself, I would think.
Yeah, sure, I'd be willing to. I mean, it's a good thing they're still filming it, so, I mean...
Right? Well, they had to wait till after the pandemic and stuff.
After the pandemic, yeah. The first idea I'd probably do is, because we'll have to assume that The Last Jedi is stuck as canon. So, Luke Skywalker fading at the end would not be him dying, it would be... I'll make it this way. It'd be Rey in that space between spaces from the Star Wars Rebels, pulling Luke Skywalker from that, and she's about 10, 15 years older, and basically she's trying to convince Luke that this is what happens when you remove yourself from the equation, where Kylo Ren has literally taken over the galaxy, and it's the most horrific thing ever. There's almost no freedom left. Rey's like one of a handful of people fighting against it, and the journey is to send him back to try and stop Snoke from corrupting him the right way and prevent the whole thing. So that's
a good idea.
You
should probably do a video on that, actually.
Yeah, I should probably do a video on that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep letting you go, but that's the thing is like you'll probably have to do a lot to fix.
I mean, I already have a couple of videos in the work for like how I would change The Force Awakens and all that other stuff. So yeah, I'll just keep writing it down now for my collection.
There you go. So make sure you go over and subscribe, and that way you won't miss it. The Fezman 93 with €2 asks, is Space Jam 2 still in development? As far as I know.
Yes. And we ran across a story here a few weeks ago that it's got a writer or it's got a director.
Yeah, I heard something to the effect. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's still going forward. I don't know if here's the thing. Depending on what they do with it, I wonder if it'll be something for HBO Max. Because, like, there's a lot of weird shit going on right now, and as far as, like, what the studios are probably going to pull once theaters open again, and that's a discussion for a whole nother video, a whole nother show. But back to Looney Tunes, I'm not surprised. I mean, when we were on there looking through stuff, a lot of the classic cartoons is where we all perked up, you know, between the Looney Tunes and some of the Hanna-Barbera stuff. You know, I think I said it right on that show when we were looking it over, and like, they've got Disney Plus beat in the classics department. And I don't understand where this lackluster launch thing's coming from outside of maybe some of the confusion. But I'm almost starting to wonder if this quote-unquote lackluster launch is more Warner fucking propaganda. Because I got to take you guys back to when AT&T took over. There was a lot of resistance on Warner's part. Like, they were openly saying on HBO, and even what's-his-face, Stephen Colbert, is that, who was on CBS? Even he, I think, was speaking out against it. So,
well, yeah, it's a service provider purchasing a network, which is a little controversial. Yeah.
So I gotta wonder if, because I mean, I've not talked to anybody face to face or in chats or on these shows who has HBO Max and who has complained about it. I don't get it, and some of the complaints I've seen out there seem really arbitrary.
Oh, like no brand new shows to co-launch with the HBO Max. It's like, who cares at this point?
Which technically that's not true right here. I think they're talking about not just the old Looney Tunes, but that new Looney Tunes stuff that's on there.
Yep. But on top of that, how easy is it to find just channel surfing Looney Tunes? And like, we have like a couple of channels in Canada that they only show Looney Tunes very, very, very late at night for some reason. All the cartoons they show on there are like the typical stuff for really, really young kids.
I don't know.
Like Blue's Clues and Caillou and weird stuff like that.
Rob, I sent you the info for it so you could check it out too. Have you had a chance to jump on since I sent that to you?
For
HBO Max.
I haven't had a chance to check it out. No,
because you suck.
That's right, I do.
Sexy Man and she sent us $5. Time for those thugged out Looney Tunes shirts from the 90s to come back. I want a Bugs with a grill and a Tweety. I remember those. My kid still wears mine from when I was in high school. No shit, because he was a huge Looney Tunes fan. One of the few things he's not a big, like, he's like the opposite of me. He's not really into movies. He's not really into that stuff. He's really into cars and all that shit and video games. But one thing that we did click with was like The Simpsons and Looney Tunes and shit like that. So like, yeah, he adopted my shirt, and I think he still wears it sometimes to this day.
Well, maybe we'll see that kind of stuff in Space Jam 2. You know, with the gold chains and the costumes and that kind of thing.
Well, I think that's where
I'm pretty sure one of the tunes will have like purple or blue hair or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's where it all came out of, was those commercials, and then eventually what spawned Space Jam was the whole advertisements and all that stuff.
Space Jam 2 is going to be called A New Legacy. That was the news that came out at the end of April. With LeBron James.
I'm not looking for
and
it.
Mikey
I'll be honest
Fox.
with you.
Yeah, Michael Burnham's in that one.
No.
Oh,
yeah, you didn't know?
No.
No, you're shitting me.
Why can't they leave it alone? It was a one and done. Like, look, outside of Ernest, I can't think of any time where a movie that was made out of something that started as an advertisement worked out. The caveman shit didn't work out for Geico. I'm stretching to try and think of any other time where
Ernest?
something. That's what I said. Outside of Ernest,
yeah, just Ernest, but
and that's it. And Space Jam was just a flash in the pan, one and done. And let's face it, if it was anybody but Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes, it wouldn't have worked. And that movie, on its face value, doesn't fucking work. It's a bad movie, but it's a good bad movie. Because you got to just suspend your disbelief, because you're in a world of Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan's playing himself, and you got Bill Murray and you got Larry Bird. And, you know, it's just a fun SNL skit gone mad for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it does have one good thing to it, which is that Michael Jordan has an arc. He starts off being a baseball player and then realizes, no, I'm a basketball player, and that's how it works.
I'm just not oblivious to the fact that it's technically it's a great movie, but let's face it, if you want to stack it up against something that is like, yeah, it's not cinema. It is a fucking hour and a half commercial for Michael Jordan. but he is likable enough, and like you just said, he may not be able to act per se, but he can act like himself. So we can relate to him in that way. Plus, you got Bill Murray and all these other guys. And yeah, I love Space Jam. I fucking love Space Jam. But I know it's a cheesy fucking movie that doesn't stand up. It's probably...
It's very ridiculous, yeah.
Yes.
Like the premise of a basketball game will determine the Earth being
Yes,
enslaved
the
or not.
entire
It's like,
idea of the
okay.
entire film. But that's the great part about it. It's one big,
Yeah.
long Looney Tunes animated cartoon, basically, at the same time. So it gets what it's trying to be. It doesn't try to be anything more than it really is. And I think that's why it was popular. But again, yeah, 6-team mascot. I would never, even though it gets compared to Who Framed Roger Rabbit all the time, those are two different monsters. And Who Framed Roger Rabbit is not just cinematic history. There's so much you could go on about how that is, fundamentally so much more important to the history of cinema than Space Jam. But
Well,
Space Jam's fun.
If you look at, comparing Space Jam to Looney Tunes Back in Action with Brendan Fraser, I mean, that wasn't as good at all, when compared to it, because it almost took itself not too seriously, but more seriously than Space Jam did. And I think it kind of doesn't work as well.
I like it, but that's because Joe Dante understands Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But again, you don't have there's something missing from it, and I can't quite put my finger on it either.
And I think that was one of the first ones where we had different people doing the voices too, because that was after Mel Blanc
Space
died,
Jam
and
too. Space Jam also had different people.
Yeah, like Billy West was doing the voices, and Billy West is really, really good. The only thing he can't do is he can't do Bugs Bunny impersonating Daffy Duck, and Mel Blanc could.
Nobody can do Bugs Bunny like Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
I've seen some good people come in and do Daffy Duck, and even like Yosemite Sam has had another guy doing the voice before Mel Blanc died because he just couldn't do the voice anymore. It was too rough on him. So
apparently Mel Blanc's son could do the voice, but his son didn't want to do the voices anymore.
Well, the guy who did Yosemite Sam and Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the guy who had been doing it for the last X amount of years.
Yeah.
Like they were like partners in that, to where he was the guy that Mel brought in and said, "This is my guy," and he sounded exactly like him, to the point where nobody knew it was anybody different. But yeah, I mean, it was just, you can tell when he was getting older there, he wasn't quite the same, but nobody's been able to match that Bugs or Porky for that matter. His Porky either. Of course, originally he didn't do Porky or Elmer Fudd's voices, but his are the most well-known versions.
And the creepy thing is that he could do that all in one take. Like
Joe
4 or 5
Lasky.
characters, he did it all in one go.
Yeah, Joe Lasky is the guy's name you're talking about, Tom.
Joe Lasky, thank you. Yeah.
He passed away in 2016. I didn't know he was gone.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, and I know what you're talking about, script, because I remember seeing some interview with him somewhere where he just bounces between the voices and he just does a whole little scene, and he's like goes from Bugs to Daffy to Porky to Sylvester to Tweety and whatnot. Of course, they used to speed his voice up for Tweety.
Yeah.
Or like pitch it up or whatever, but yeah. And a little bit for Porky, but anyhow.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Duck Dodgers movie.
Dodgers in the 21st and a half century. Usually that's Rob's
Yeah, my avatar. Yeah, well, the green loon turn is my.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Oh shit!
Yeah. They did a great one where Daffy and Porky were doing an episode of Dragnet.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Oh, man.
That was a really good one, and you don't
I
see
love
that
Dragnet.
one too.
Yeah.
My name is Monday, Joe Monday.
Now, was that an actual cartoon, or was that one of the specials back in the day?
No, that was an actual cartoon.
Okay, because I was trying to remember. But all right, let's move on from this. We can talk about Looney Tunes all damn day. Mecca, are you there?
Yes.
Tell us what's going on with Batwamans.
Batwoman is she's well. Did you want to pull up the article, Rob?
I can.
Yeah.
Well, he could pull it up as far as reading it.
We have a couple of new ones.
I know you did a video on it already, I think, and
Yeah,
kind of staying
yeah.
on top of it. So
Yeah, it kind of dropped last night that they have announced that instead of recasting a new actress in the role of Kate Kane, they are going to bring in a whole new character.
yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wasn't that who predicted that? Was that you, Script Doctor, that predicted that, or I can't remember who it was.
I thought that I think that was one of the possibilities that I was talking about. But
Maybe it was you. Yeah. Sorry.
I thought it was Mecca because I figured they would just recast the character of Kate Kane. I didn't think they would.
Yeah,
just
you're right. Okay.
banish her like Bruce Wayne in their first season and then bring in someone else to take up the mantle.
Sounds like what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Just repeating this. They're literally repeating season 1 again.
Well, yeah. At this point, all right. Anyway, I'm trying to find the story here.
Here's one of them. This isn't the one we had last night. I haven't read this one yet, but.
All right, but the basic outline of what you're saying, though, is basically what Script just said, is that's what they're going to do. They're going to create a new character next season. I think they're going to set up a scenario where something happens to what's-her-face. Oh, my God.
Let me see. I got
those were some of the reshoots that they had.
Maybe.
Because remember how they were doing all those reshoots last... Here, let me find last night.
Well, they didn't get to do the last 2 episodes of the season, though, I thought, because of the pandemic.
Yes, that was across the board for all the CW shows, I think.
But apparently Jill Pantazzi of Gizmodo, whatever the hell this is, what website? What isn't Gizmodo going bankrupt or something like that? I thought they were.
Know. They probably got bought up by some conglomerate.
Yeah. Well, anyway, apparently this is not good enough for her. We already
she wants Ruby Rose to. She wants Ruby Rose to remain. Is that what she wants?
I read it. I already read this, and I still don't know what the hell she wants.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me grab you the other article from last night here, the TV line one, the first announcement, because this is some weird opinion. This article here, so yeah, switch out articles, Rob.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Batwoman.
Because I think you need the context of the first one to understand what the second one's talking about.
Well, one thing from this story that resonated with myself and also a bunch of my screenwriting friends, because we did talk about it this afternoon, is that there's kind of like this unwritten rule where never give a female character a male name, and the replacement character they're doing is Brian, and it's spelled like the male version of it. Brian is not entirely a unisex name.
I have to wonder if that's a placeholder, though.
Could be, yeah. Could also be something from the comics division of DC where they're saying, hey, use this new character and then we'll launch a new comic book series about her as well so that we can coincide with the show and maybe save some sales.
Batwoman will not recast Kate Kane in wake of Ruby Rose's exit. New character eyed to lead the series. Batwoman is opting to erase rather than recast Kate Kane. TV Line has confirmed that the CW series will create a brand new character to don Batwoman's cape in season 2 in the wake of Ruby Rose's sudden departure. Further details on the new character have not been released officially, but the decider, I'm the decider, I decide who's going to decide who's Kate Kane. But Decider reports that a leaked casting breakdown referred to the newbie superhero as Ryan Wilder, a woman in her mid-20s who is about to become Batwoman. She's likable, messy, a little goofy, and untamed, the casting notice reportedly went on to read. She's also nothing like Kate Kane, the woman who wore the batsuit before her. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years as a drug runner, dodging the GCPD and masking her pain with bad habits. Oh, so she's stunning and brave and has some flaw to overcome. Is that it? A girl who would steal milk for an alley cat could also kill you with her bare hands. Ryan is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly undisciplined, and apparently not even trained. And okay, here's the kicker: an out lesbian. Ooh. Now we're getting to what really matters. Athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your stereotypical all-American hero.
They call her fallible, but the only flaw I see is that she does the drugs she runs.
Probably. Warner Brothers and the CW previously confirmed that it would cast another alphabet person actress. In an Instagram post last week, Rose addressed reports that she left the series after just one season because she balked at the long hours required to star in a weekly series that shoots in Vancouver. Don't believe everything you read by anon sources online. She urged the fan in comments section. I also lived in Vancouver for a year working on the mountains when I was 18 because I love that city. I've also worked in other places in Canada. Perfect, beautiful country.
That still doesn't say that she didn't like the hours. It's
Yeah.
saying, she's just defending the whole fact about Canada. It's like, that's not what they were saying, yo.
Yeah, thanks for the nice words about the country I happen to live in, but that's not the point of the questioning.
Exactamundo.
Yeah.
So anyway,
is that for real, Brendan? He says he watched Raiders of the Lost Ark yesterday for the first time in 30 years. Instant time travel. I absolutely will not wait another 30. Great movie. Yeah, I can't imagine waiting 30 years to watch that movie again.
How could you not see it 30
Well,
years?
maybe he's just somebody who just didn't have the time, and then now he's recently had the time, and it just happened to,
He's got the time, then we've got the beer.
Yeah.
He
may have had 3 very demanding kids close up in age. He just did not have the time to sit them down and watch the movie with them.
My brother Dave actually one time he lamented that his son had never seen The Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Oh, I can't believe he's never seen The Sting. Yeah. I said, well, if it means that much to you, sit down with him and watch it. Oh, no. He should have watched it already.
You're your own worst enemy, Rob's brother.
Oh, you have no idea. We've already... haven't we told you we've got an idea for a series based on...
My brother Dave.
Yeah. It's
That's a great title for it, just My Brother Dave.
Yeah, it's an amalgam of all his brothers. But we already got a pilot episode and a few episodes, pretty much.
I have a running list of titles that evoke the crooked, confused Cocker Spaniel look from my wife because she's younger than I am and has not seen some of these movies. Like, what was the one? Citizen Kane, Casablanca. But
I haven't seen anything, so I don't think age has anything.
Re-educating her. We're going through Farscape now. I've just introduced her to the animated X-Men, Gargoyles.
Yeah, all stuff I've never watched too, so I don't think age has anything to do with it.
Stargate, the TV. Well, we sat and watched the movie at Stargate, right? Yeah. So yeah, we're re-educating Mrs. Boss over here slowly.
I keep saying it, and Gary's right. I hope an actress goes in, auditions for the part, and when she's asked, "Oh, you're perfect. Oh, you're perfect. You're a perfect representation of the alphabet community," and she says, "What makes you think I'm an alphabet person?"
Yeah.
And it's like, and sue the pants off of Warner Brothers.
That's right, because it is illegal to discriminate higher.
That's discrimination. Yeah.
Yeah, we brought that up when the story first broke, but don't bring that up to them.
But diversity,
right?
Well, the sad part is that there's a lot of desperate actors out there that will just put that on their resume if it means they'll get the part, and that's fine.
Yeah,
the only thing you can hope for is that once the show starts to air, they say, I'm not this, I'm just playing a role, and embarrass the network.
Yeah. What if it's like one of these wrestler chicks whose whole identity is like a persona? What if it's one of them where like their persona is gay or something, and then
you find out they have a husband?
Yeah, you find out, oh, I'm just like an Elvira. You find out, oh, Elvira's not her real name, which not anybody ever thought it was. But
wait,
what if it's one of those sort of situations?
Oh, you've ruined my whole day right there.
That's weird because I just got her movie in the mail today.
That's cool.
Arrow put out a special edition, yeah. Captain Harrison, $5. Rob for Batwoman. Tom for supporting character, love interest. I think he means interest. Then, oh, I get it. Love interest. That's the name. Gotcha. Never mind. Took me a second. Then make Andre watch it. Midnight Touch myself.
That would get some good ratings just for the curiosity alone.
Boy, speaking of Andre, I hope you don't get mad at me for saying this, but I don't think I've ever seen him as mad as he was this late last night when I told him about all the shit with Robert. Man, there was one individual, I'm not going to say a name, who targeted Robert and went after him and basically probably facilitated this whole thing with Schmodown and whatnot. And Andre's like, that dude's on my shit list. I didn't know Andre had a shit list.
Oh, I believe it. All smart men.
I think it's now a shit list of one. Then
I guess so.
I always said Andre's the only person who actually scares me on YouTube.
I mean, I was like, because I'm like, I said this and I said that. Hopefully you're not mad. He's like, oh no, we support him 100%. And then I sent him all the info shit. He's like, Robert said nothing wrong. That dude's on my shit list now. He said the guy's name, but again, I'm not going to say the person.
Andre sounds like he should have an underground lair and be petting a white Persian cat.
He'd probably be the only one who could come up against Doomcock, and Doomcock would even think maybe, well, I don't know.
Well, like I said, you know, everybody's like, oh, Doomcock, fear Doomcock. You know, if it comes down to it, Andre's pretty damn scary too.
Oh yeah,
I think Andre's the only person I'm really, really scared of on YouTube.
A Norwegian accent can be very intimidating.
Well, that is because he's just so serious and stoic all the time.
He's so intelligent. That's what gets it too. The intelligence.
So when you hear him get either goofy and laugh and goof around a little bit, or go to that other extreme, where because like the last time I seen him this pissed off is when we got pulled down for the Captain Marvel thing, and you know he took care of that pretty darn quick. So I was like, okay, shit was taken care of. But like I said, he said that this morning. I'm like, geez, this guy fucked up. Willie Woodward sent $2. If they're going to recast Kane, why have bats?
Yeah, I mean, it completely blows the entire first season because everything centers around her and her family and sister and Bruce is her cousin and all this stuff. They're essentially going to have to start all over from scratch, which
they have one advantage. They cast an actor to be Bruce Wayne, who they could just bring back for season 2 as Batman and just call it Batman now. And
do you realize how bad
that would look optically? Oh god.
Yeah, but you were saying something, Jason. Though. Was there something else you had to say there?
No, I was done.
There's no way they would do that.
Yeah, I don't see it, especially if we get, we're getting Robert Pattinson as Batman, and if there's a possibility that we're going to get Batfleck back at some point, there's 2 different Batmans on the big screen at the same time. They're not going to put them on TV.
Can we just take a pass on the Robert Pattinson Batman? Can we just? I mean, that's.
I think that's still going to happen.
Call him Mulligan.
But I don't know what you've heard at all, Script, but I've been hearing rumors that the Batman thing is going to be on HBO Max, and it's going to be like a mini-series, like they did with...
Oh, the Ben Affleck part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard talks about that as well. It's pending if Affleck can maintain, because the poor guy has an issue with alcoholism. So it's all seeing as like how well he can hold himself together and deal with some of the personal issues he has. I know that's the pending part, but that's usually the case with a lot of talent that has gone through the same issues that he has. So we're all pulling for him to sort of, stay on the wagon and.
You can confirm you've heard that, or you can just say you've heard.
I can confirm I've heard it from some of my friends who know about Ben Affleck's situation, but I don't know if that's anything on the HBO Max side of things. I just I just heard the rumors of talks of him doing a miniseries based off of the Batman script with.
There you go, folks.
Against. That I've heard those rumors just like everyone else has that we've seen on like the internet and stuff, but
that's more though, but more fire or more smoke anyway.
Well, and I've seen some really good feedback about Ian Glenn playing Bruce Wayne over on Titans.
He does a cross between Adam West and Michael Keaton because he does the Bat-2C.
Oh,
but he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really hide his Irish accent, sadly. But he's got an air of confidence about him, and he's never in the costume. He's always wearing basically like a dress shirt with the collar open and dress pants and just kind of wandering around.
What were you going to say, Rob?
Who's Ian Glenn?
Oh, an
He,
actor.
he plays Bruce Wayne on Titans.
Okay,
Or on the DC
why.
universe. Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't know who he is because I never seen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
But Tom, though, I did manage to corner Ben Affleck for a exclusive side. I asked him a couple questions. I said, Ben, what about all this, you drinking and everything and Batman? Do you think it's going to affect your performance coming back as Batman? And this is what he had to say.
Oh, I don't drink anymore.
Okay, there you go.
Uh-huh. You took too long to set that up. All
Right.
right.
That one.
It's the same guy that played Jorah on Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Never saw it.
Didn't watch it, but
Let's see,
for those out there who are curious.
Well, he's been acting for like 40 years, I think. So he's been in a bunch of stuff. So you should if you see his face, you'll
recognize the
him.
name. So yeah, I probably would.
I thought for sure. Let me just get back to this Batwoman thing. I thought for sure they were either going to go with the Asian sister or the black lesbian girlfriend.
I think this is another picture where this is not even what's her. Oh no, that is her. I think. Well,
could be her or her stunt double. We don't know.
I think it's her stunt double. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, the mouth's different.
No, that's her. Well, it looks like her.
Doesn't look gaunt enough.
I don't know. See, because that's the thing is like 9 out of the 10 pictures I've seen online, I'm pretty sure it's her stunt double.
Yeah, have her stunt double say some lines and keep her as Kate Kane. Makes it simple. There you go. I mean, I know why they can't do that, but like it's just fun to say. Hey, At least out of the costume, the stunt double will look like they can still beat up a person.
That's that's one of the biggest problems I had with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to believe little scrawny ass, 95 pounds, soaking wet.
No, that's not her unless they gave her contacts for her eyes.
Anyway, she's gonna beat up a guy twice her size, really.
Yeah, especially like in a fisticuff thing. If she was going to be like using the enemy's weight against them and using objects around to tilt the advantage, it's more believable than her just like wailing on a guy with her fists and the guy just falling over so easily. It's like, no, sorry, that's not how that works.
The same thing when Mikey Spock. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she's
got bright green eyes. Her nose is more narrow. Lips are more narrow. They got similar chins, but then and not only that. I mean, you could go with like a few other things too, but yeah, most of the pictures like this one I've seen, I don't think that's her. Brown, black eyes ish. The nose is a bit more wide, a bit more protruding chin.
Well, according to IMDb, Ruby Rose's stunt double is somebody named Melissa Jin.
Yeah, and I think she's like Asian or something like that. And you can tell in some pictures it's definitely not her, especially if there's a lot of light. So that supports that she. See, we heard a rumor that she did not like being in the costume to the point where, unless it was a close up where she had lines in which she would only be wearing the top half, 90% of the time you see her in a costume, it's her stunt double.
You think she could have said, "Hey, is there anything you could do about this costume?"
Well, they did. They got rid of the neck part so she could just take the hat off and put it back on.
No, it doesn't matter. She's just, from what I heard and from what we heard anyway, is that she's nothing but was a pain in the ass to deal with. Didn't want to fucking do anything. Complained about everything. Was a nightmare on set. Like, I guess I heard that the day they announced she wasn't coming back, like everybody like was ecstatic.
Yeah, they let out a sigh of relief. That's one of the rumors.
So it's like a Lord and Miller. Remember Lord and Miller?
Yeah.
Everybody
they cheered on set, yeah. Unrelenting Mail sent $1.99. Why don't they bring in Asian Batwoman? Well, that's what we were just saying. And so this is her stunt double here? Yeah, see, that actually that's the person I bet you're seeing in most pictures. Actually, she's kind of, it's kind of a little
nice
small.
Shoulders and biceps there, yeah.
I would say she's actually kind of better looking in my opinion, but I know everybody thinks Ruby Rose is just so amazing, but yeah.
No. Let's ask someone on authority. Mecca, is Ruby Rose amazing? She's
all right. Okay. I mean, she's all right. She's cute enough, but She's
I
so
think
tiny.
it's just because she's got like that half manly, half
You wouldn't-
womanly thing about her.
Yeah,
You
she's
wouldn't-
not super feminine.
You wouldn't let
Okay.
her strap them on for you? I mean,
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
But Mecca would break her in fucking two.
Probably.
yeah.
Like, she wouldn't last 10 seconds in the ring with fucking Mecca. Like, and I don't mean in like a physical fight. I mean in a sexual ring. Like, Mecca would literally like just tear her apart. She's like made out of paper thin plastic. It's like,
I don't have any bones
tiny.
breaking.
yeah, somebody's telling me like they saw her in like with shorts on and some like, it wasn't a publicity photo, but like just some shot the paparazzi must have gotten.
And
her
she had
legs
wishbone legs.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was you, Script, maybe who brought that up.
Wishbone legs, yeah.
But she's so well, and we're not body shaming, obviously. We're just kind of commenting
we're-
on her
yeah.
physical.
Pointing it out.
Yeah,
pointing out
we're
the op-
pointing out.
Well, she damn near
physicality.
died.
Yeah,
From a very modest stunt, is my understanding.
she's well, and I say it's partly due to her veganism, the vegan diet.
Yeah, if you're going to be doing something like this, you need to find a way of injecting a whole lot of protein into yourself. And not only that, okay, if you're going to be a vegan,
Vegan.
fine and great. Thanks, Mick.
Hey,
Oh.
crazy!
It's okay because a woman said it.
He's right.
I would not be surprised if every day Ruby Rose was on set, they had to give her a B12 shot for her to make it through the day.
Just as you were saying that, this popped up. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's something that happens a lot. Like if an actor gets sick in the middle of shooting for the week, they basically just have an on-site nurse that gives them a B12 shot. They get that adrenaline rush and stimulant to sound normal. They do their lines, and then when they're done, they're sent home and said, "Get well in the next 24 hours, or we're gonna have some problems."
Right here, 16-bit mascot put it out for me here. If you want me to believe that somebody is going to be able to take on fucking 6'5", fucking 200+ pound men, I don't give a fuck what suit they got on. That ain't gonna make no damn difference. You need to be like built like T2's Linda Hamilton.
Or
Exactly.
Vasquez from Aliens.
Exactly. Somebody who I can actually be like, okay, yeah, she's smaller, but she's got
Scrappy.
some strength and she's scrappy and she can use her size to her advantage. That's a different situation. I don't even think that fucking Ruby Rose could kill a fucking sandwich, let alone a fucking guy. So
Okay.
You know, I'm looking at some
Okay,
of these
Tom,
other
here
photos
is-
of her. She could do a good
Here's a
Zatanna.
picture of Ruby Rose.
No,
Here's a picture of Ruby Rose. And her official weight is listed as 128 or 58
Jesus
kilograms. for
Christ,
each
the
script
wind blows. She knocked
Probably
falls
10
over.
years ago, that was accurate.
God, what
no,
were you
she
saying?
can't be that
This-
heavy now. She's so
This,
slim.
this is a picture of Ruby Rose. I mean, she just
How tall
drops
is
to
she?
40 kilograms. This picture
Holy
is
shit.
from.
Oh, she's 5'4"?
What were you saying, Jason?
I said I think she'd probably be a better fit for a character like Zatanna, you know, who doesn't have
Okay. Oh, this
So-
is
the doesn't need the physicality of it. You know, Zatanna doesn't get into the fights and scrapping. She's into the
You can see her
spells.
fucking ribs.
this is from a couple years ago, but she hasn't changed a whole lot.
God,
Yeah,
she's
that's-
got like a 20-inch wide chest.
Someone
She
give her a
can't be.
sandwich. Holy
She
shit.
can't be 128 pounds and be
No
that
way.
slim.
Not unless she's
She's
got a
got
whole lot
muscle.
of change in her pockets.
Yeah, because muscle's going to weigh more, so maybe she lied and said maybe they were looking for a more muscular sort of actress, and I don't know, maybe she lied and said that she was that heavy.
Where are her organs?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Twisted mind. Fuck, my leg is about 120.
Yeah.
I feel your pain, brother. No, I'm not that big, but damn.
There was a episode of Happy Days where this big guy was gonna beat up Ralph Mouth. He had a huge arm. He's like reaching behind him. Rich, what's your leg doing up here? Like Jesus, like she's like. That's okay. It's not health. People talk about body shaming. It's not healthy to be that thin. Okay, obviously we've seen, like I said, like Script Doctor said, she was injured in a fairly regular stunt or whatever it was.
It was a modest stunt. My understanding was that it was just like she was positioned, she threw a punch, and I think she fell and herniated a disc from it.
She fell and herniated a disc. Wow.
That's my understanding. I don't know if that's the full details of it, but yeah.
I thought she broke her neck.
She could have fallen on her back, and then a whiplash action could have done something to her neck, possibly.
Well, you have discs and you have discs in your.
Well, and not only that,
you
I'm
got
sure
a number of discs in your neck.
I'm sure she was a pain in the ass to deal with because she was always hungry. You know.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Ronda, Unrelenting Male sends a $4.99 super chat. Ronda Rousey isn't that big. She body slammed Triple H. We need a woman like that to play a hero. Yeah, I mean, same thing with Wonder Woman. I like Gal Gadot. She's okay, but I have a hard time outside the fact that she's got. We got another super chat I missed too here. I mean, if she had, the fact that she has powers helps, but otherwise, you would want somebody bigger to player. And we got a Canadian super chat, eh?
DCV Titan, $2 Canadian. What if the suit was a Stardust power armor?
Batwoman?
Oh, like the bat suit was an exoskeleton type of deal?
Yeah, but doesn't that...
like from Mantis? Wait, if you remember that show?
Barely.
Sam Raimi did that.
I think that's a Warhammer reference there.
I mean, yeah. If you give the weighs almost nothing character power armor, then yeah, I can believe their combat abilities. But the impressive thing about a character, especially one in like the Bat family, is the fact that they don't need armor or mechanical devices to survive a physical fight. The gadgets are for fun things like zipping across a building or detecting evidence or something of that nature. That's what makes the gadgets fun. It's not everyone needs to be Iron Man. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, there's this whole thing about being able to explain how you do, how you can do stuff. I mean, how would Batman be? How would Batman be able to do this? How would this person be able to do this? And I think there's also this thing people like kind of the James Bond gadgets,
Yep.
The Batman and at least the Keaton Batman. I remember when I saw the Keaton Batman, 1989. He didn't have a whole lot of gadgets. It was just all like pulleys and grappling guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Batarang was like the advanced thing.
Well, we did have one other topic real quick because I don't know if we covered this yet, but Cobra Kai, we said it before that season 3 was going to be the final season. Well, it turns out that's not the case. I got to cover this real quick because we do got to wrap up here soon because I got to run to another engagement. But basically, from what we're hearing is that Netflix and Hulu are in a bit of a bidding war right now over the show. And it looks like the seasons will continue after season 3. Originally, I'm assuming they thought it was going to be the end of it because YouTube has no money.
YouTube did not succeed, sadly.
But yeah, so this is good news if you're a Cobra Kai fan. That means not only are we going to get a season 3 that's going to be on either Hulu or Netflix, that's what we're hearing is that the 3rd season will be premiering on whichever service that it goes to. That means it will continue on for at least probably, I'm going to guess, at least another 2 seasons at least. So how do you guys feel about that?
It's a win for Cobra Kai and a win for the audiences.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll take it.
I just wanted to make sure we brought that up. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
Either platform it benefits this because more people get to see it. It's just so damn good.
I think that they'll go with Netflix if you want my honest opinion for 2 reasons. One, it's global, and 2, Sony has been doing a lot of stuff with Netflix lately. So and like all the stuff that they had on Crackle that was original moved over to Netflix. So I got a strong feeling Netflix might be the Cobra Kai home. That's just a guess. So
yeah, I remember being really surprised when they announced it was going to go to YouTube to start with, and I thought, who's watching it over there? But that's their model now. YouTube is all corporate, and the individual creators don't matter anymore.
I think it was because they gave them artistic reign to do what they needed to, and they gave them a buttload of money.
Yeah. They invested a lot into YouTube Red when it started.
Because Ralph Macchio was the deciding factor in that, I guess. And I think he actually kind of got pissed at YouTube because we may have a video in this, Rob, but there's a recording or a interview of him a while back before season 2 had become completely available for free on YouTube. And he was saying they were going to drop it all for free. And then they didn't do it when he said it on that date. And then they did it week by week. So I'm wondering if they didn't get in some kind of argument behind the scenes. Because the way he's made it sound is they were going to drop the entire thing so everybody could see it. Because it almost sounded like he was getting frustrated with the whole YouTube Red thing. Because, I mean, if you look at the numbers for the free episodes, they're fucking astronomical. If this was a TV show on television, it'd be one of the #1 shows on TV.
Yeah. I think they're also doing a special where the first season was going to be free right before the second season dropped.
They did. It's been free ever since. That's the thing. And it sounded like he wanted them to drop the entire season because they weren't getting the views they wanted, I'm sure. Because nobody's going to fucking subscribe to YouTube Red. Or YouTube Plus or whatever fuck they're calling it anymore. I think it's dead anyway. Nikki D sent $5. Think Natalie Portman will bulk up for Thor 4. She almost has to, but I think there's going to be a loophole in that. I mean, we've talked a little bit about Thor 4. I think it's just going to be, she's just going to get like the power for a day, or Thor's going to have to try and find a way to transfer his power to save her from her cancer, one or the other.
Well, she couldn't even bulk up when she was pregnant, so I don't think she could do it for
I don't think she's capable of bulking up, and that's not. Listen, that's not a knock on her. Some people have the body type where it's difficult.
She's tiny.
Yeah, some body type where it's difficult for them to put on mass, on muscle.
Right. But
I think
no, go ahead.
And I think that she's that type. And it's not a knock. It's not a knock on her personally.
No, she's a little person. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till I see a trailer to kind of see what Taika's up to before I judge too much. And I know a lot of people have been jumping to conclusions with this. And I mean, if I watch it and it looks like it's going to be garbage as far as the trailer, even from the trailer, I'll be totally on everybody else's side with this. But for now, I'm just going to kind of wait in the middle and see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's a lot of these phase 4 things are going to be like that, where you hear about certain pieces of it, certain aspects, certain rumors, and it sounds like it's going to be a mess. It sounds like it's going to be a train wreck, but it really is important to just kind of sit and wait and see, because Feige's got a track record. And so far, everything's been going fairly okay. I mean, outside of the A-Force one shot there at the end of Avengers, but that almost felt like it was a throwaway. It's like, yeah, we know we got to do this, but we're not going to spend time on it. So I'm with Tom. I think we wait and see, and once it's out there and we get a better idea of what it's going to be, then make your judgments from there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I got to run. So let's put a cap on this. Check out Jason on Sci-Fi for Me TV. We shared the link in the chat. I'll do that one more time before we go. But I think I need some music, Rob, and I think we earned a minimum effort, puppy. Wrong music. Whatever. It'll work. Good night, everybody. Check out Jason on Sci-Fi for Me TV and all the folks over there.
Thanks. For having me.
Be excellent to each other.
Just when you think this show is terrible,